Yeah. My least favorite type of hater are the ones that just drop a comment and they never reply, even though I always reply to everything, except for my polls. Recently, my polls have been getting way too many comments, and I've been getting kind of sad. Oh, you can't? No, no, no. I know you can hear me. I know you can hear me. I just plugged in my mic. Okay. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Why do I hear myself? No, 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 no. All right, I'm muting. Wait, hold on. I hear. Okay, okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Let's see. Let's see. I'm here. I'm here. I'm on stream. Yeah. Also, Sprout. No need to ban anyone. I can take it. I can take the heat. So I think this is an important thing to discuss. All right. First off, what do I want to talk about? Yeah. So I've been getting kind of sad because recently my polls, I've been getting way too many comments, and I literally just can't read at this point. So I guess I hit the Markiplier stage where I can't interact with everyone. So that's fine. But I think it's good. I think it's good to talk to people and see different opinions and see what are the reasons all you guys think that Jinx who's gonna be a real villain. I can also add an extra tier for yeah, if any dark horses that you guys think is gonna happen. But overall, hello everyone, hello. Overall, I think a lot of reasoning for Victor or Mbessa being the main villain, it's a lot of micro narrative response. I'm gonna explain this. It's specifics. Hold on, specifics in story reasoning. So there's a difference between micro narrative and macro narrative, because macro is just it's what is the story about? What is the story telling you on the grand scheme of things? This is how I base all my theories. Because if you're in the micro level, how specific things happen, specific plot points are going on, it's impossible to predict anything. Let's see, larger story picture. My key example of this is when I was talking about Mel. So I was always, from the very beginning, I was saying Mel was gonna live, Mel isn't gonna live. But a lot of Mel, let's see, example. Mel dies, okay. She is in front of the rocket. So a lot of people argued in my comments that Mel will die because she's in front of the rocket. This is a micro narrative reason because, like, logically, it makes sense for Mel to die. She's just right in front of the rocket. But for the macro narrative reason, example is that Mel was alive. This was what I was reasoning on. Example. Holy, I cannot spell. Example. Mel lives because glowing tattoo. Yes, it's a tattoo. Is a Chekhov's gun and wouldn't be shown for no reason. So I think this is where the disconnect happens between a lot of our arguments. Macro narrative reasoning, it wins most of the time because what's the point of writing a story? Obviously, you want to take into account things making sense, but you also want to take account like the overall message that the story tries to tell. If you're a writer and you're writing a specific plot point, you would rather prefer telling a better story over a logical story. So, case in point, Isha. Okay, if you're joining stream and you get spoiled, then that's on you. So, okay, so what do I want to talk about? Yeah, case in point, Isha dying. Isha dying makes no sense on the micro level. Well, unless you actually understand character motivations and stuff. But on the macro level, she needs to die because that would push Jinx over the edge. But I'm biased. I should list my biases. Biases, Jinx will be the villain, but discussion is important. So yes, that's what I want to talk about. Jinx being the villain. Let's see, micro narrative reason, repetitive. Ooh. Being repetitive. So this is a micro narrative reasoning because, wait, no, this is macro level. Well, okay, I'm confusing myself here because the thing about repetition, it's macro level because you're talking about the whole story structure as a whole. But the thing is, yes, okay, it is definitely macro reason. Hold on, I'm lagging. But the problem is in the micro, it actually wins out for, well, all of them can be possible villains. In terms of repetition, because you don't know how the story goes. There's a million different ways they can write for things to not be repetitive. A lot of different examples they can do. Why Jinx would fight Vi again, why Mbessa would fight Vi. So in this scenario, let's see. Okay, hold on. Do I need to make multiple lines? Dude, why do I, when I press enter it? Alright, I already know this stream's gonna be a disaster. Why can't it like go down? Maybe I can like personally make it go down. Okay, multiple ways to, if I press enter, does it give me a new line? No, it just puts me, okay, this, I should have practiced. I should have practiced beforehand. Let's see, multiple ways to write. Dude, why can't you just like go down? I gave you plenty of space, and for repetition here, there's nothing much to say. Victor just is the only one who hasn't been the main villain yet. So yeah, I think he might be onto something with the Jinx and the Bessa teaming up theory. Okay, biases, Jinx will be the villain. Let me make this bigger. Make this whole line bigger. So I don't think it's gonna be friendly. It's not gonna be Vi and it's not gonna be like Vi and Jinx teaming up to go against Warwick. It's not gonna be that friendly. Also, on the micro level, let's see. Makes sense for Victor and Mbessa to do it. Because be the main villain just because they have motivation. Actually, Mbessa kill Ish. I guess I just have to make this short. There has to be a better way. Wait, multiple ways to roll. What does this mean? Okay, there has to be a better way I can do this. Is there like a line break? Dude, this is so bad. Jinx is an anti-hero, but she'll never team up with Mbessa. Okay. Let's see. So this is macro level. Macro level story. What is the story about? The story is about Piltover and Zon. Piltover and Zon, Jinx and Vi. The first scene opening shot we get is a conflict of Piltover and Zon, and we get to know the relationship between Jinx and Vi. So is there like a way I can like double check mark this? Okay. Story, character. So on this aspect, they both represent Zon. Zon versus Pilt. But when it comes to character, Jinx has to be the villain because like all the writers, they have been saying this entire time that the whole point of the story is Jinx and Vi, their relationship and how that pans out. So when I'm talking about final villain, final narrative villain, I think it just has to be Jinx on that aspect, just because what was I gonna say? All right, I lost my train of thought. Let's see. Overall, Jinx being an anti-hero, yeah. They're trying to make Jinx the hero. The entire point of the series is that Jinx isn't actually a Jinx. See, that's where you're wrong. Plot, who started war? The person who started war is Jinx. Like, that's just the fact. There's no arguing against that. Jinx started the war. So the point of the story, the whole plot of the story is that Jinx is the villain against peace. And in order to bring war down, you gotta get rid of Jinx. Jinx started war. Piltover and Zon, not Noxus. Okay, so on that aspect, let's see. Plot, story Zon versus Pilt. Yeah, and Mbessa will not make sense. I guess I'll just make a new line. Noxus is extraneous. I think I spelled it right. Stop. There's no way Jinx teams up with Mbessa. You have to be wearing 4 clown emojis in your name for 23rd. Okay. Yeah, that's what makes sense. Mbessa kills Isha, but I think like they don't have to team up. They're not gonna be like sucking each other's cocks or something. Okay. By team up, I just mean like they both attack Piltover at the same time. Like in that final fight where Mbessa and Jinx are both after whatever they're doing, Jinx just fights Piltover. So we can talk about that later. She did start the war. Okay, this is how it didn't go. Jinx blows everyone up. I think you're joking about that, but I do think Jinx blows everyone up. So okay, with Act 2, I'm getting a lot more schizophrenic. Then, okay. So I think Jinx, there's a good chance Jinx blows a lot of Piltover up. A big reason why I was saying that was because War is probably going to destroy Zon, and Jinx blowing up Piltover is going to level Piltover to Zon's level. They're going to be equals, and on the premise of equality, that's how you build true peace. But that theory kind of got dismantled a little bit, because when Act 2 came out, we saw how War is going, and Zon is like, it's untouched. Just enforcers shooting a bunch of gas in the lanes, building some prison camps. That's it. Zon isn't that damaged. So detract from that theory. But Jinx is also not going to like kill everyone in Piltover when she blows things up. How do I think that's going to happen? Heimerdinger probably does something to make sure the Arcane explosion is not as explosive or something. Or Mel, with her newfound magic powers, protects everyone. But that is a load of headcanon. That's not evidence. I'm not going to put that here, okay? I'm schizophrenic, but I'm not that schizophrenic. Jinx will not work with Ambessa. She might work with Singe. Okay, I need to put notes. Notes. Jinx, Ambessa. Only during, let's see, Jinx and Bessa only because both attack Pilt. No continued relationship. That's what I think. If Jinx is a Jinx, then why did she try to change that fact through all of season 2? Well, that's what I think the plot point of Isha is. So that is true. That is true. Jinx is trying to be a hero. The thing is, macro narrative reasoning. The plot has always been Piltover and Zon. So actually, let's see how you guys think about this, because we do not know how Zon will go. We don't see Zon at all in the trailers, and because the story is about Piltover versus Zon, what's gonna happen to Zon? So, are they joining the war? Yes, they are going to join the war, because you're not going to have a final fight and not have Zon, who literally started the war, who are literally rebelling against Piltover, to not join in and do stuff. I do not have grammar. What's going to happen with Zon? So, is Zon joining the fight? Which side will they take? So, let's see. Season 2 showed followers that are against Piltover. Yeah. The conflict has always been about Piltover. Okay, I need to write biases. Biases. Always been Piltover versus Zon. That's why everything happened and war was declared. So yeah, we're gonna be, and Savika popped up in the trailers. In the newest poster. Since Savika pops up in the newest poster, Zon is gonna be playing an effect. Just like how the Act 2 posters were Mel, even though she showed up for like 3 scenes, Jace and Victor, who are the main plot drivers of this arc. Well, also Warwick. But yeah, because of that, since Savika shows up, Zon's going to be playing a major role to some extent. But yeah, bro's typing right inside my ears. Well, I'm sorry. It's like ASMR. You're lucky I don't have a mechanical keyboard. Jinx didn't kill okay. Isha didn't get killed because of Jinx. She sacrificed herself for Jinx. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. I might have misspoke. Creator did say everyone would be an opposite of a villain. The opposite of a villain is a hero. Yeah, but Jinx blowing up Piltover is gonna be hero of Zon. So there's a lot. That's micro. That's micro. Opposite. Everyone being the opposite of themselves. Not Ambessa, because Ambessa's not in season 1. Let's see. Jinx, hero of Zon. And Victor, bad. Let's see. What about, okay, Zon will probably team up with Piltover. That's my educated guess. Zon, Piltover versus Arcane and Noxus. So, about that. So, the Firelights and Zon are 2 completely different entities. Because they joined together with the main forces because Echo was gone, but now that Echo's back, there's a lot of ways this can go. If Jinx wants to blow up Piltover, for example, Firelights will not stand for that. So Firelights and Zon separate. And we know that because we don't see any we see Firelights fighting Zonite or fighting Noxans, and there are no Zonites on hoverboards fighting them. I think Arcane will be the villain. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the Arcane. I'll add a box for the Arcane. Okay, Jinx bad. Jinx, Zon, hero. that is something worth mentioning. Arcane. Arcane. And what color should this be? Okay, you are small. You go big. Okay. We'll make this teal. I think teal is a good color. Oh, I did green. Is there no teal? I think that's teal. Okay. So in terms of macro reasoning, the name of the show is called Arcane, and because of that, wrong one. Okay, 1 second. Tools. What do I do? It should be insert checkbox. The name of the show is called Arcane, so that's why it's Arcane. Wait, why did I write back? Are we back? Let me see that chat move. Hello. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna refresh the page. Let's see if chat comes back. Because OBS is telling me that I reconnected. Yes, okay, I think I reconnected. All right, who's still here? I can't see since it's still loading. It's not a stream if I don't disconnect. I'm not on my PC right now because reasons, okay? And that's probably why this actually no, it's the internet. The wires are kind of ass, I have to be honest. All right, I'm turning on my phone and looking at chat from there. But that might overload my internet some more. Because right now chat is not loading. You see on the top right, it's a blank screen. There's nothing going on there. I'm staring into the void and the void is telling me to kill Victor. What is going on? Okay. My recommendations. All right. In the meantime, I realized I accidentally checked Jinx for repetitive. So yeah. Let's see. Since disconnected again. Oh, I reconnected. I brought my dude. I think I downloaded the virus. I think that's why. All right, Jinx fixed stream. Yeah, thank you, Jinx. So, okay. Oh, let's see what you guys said. They want to set the whole world of Runeterra. So introducing the okay, with the void stuff. I hate the void stuff because. Okay. If we're talking about ending, actually, what's a good way to word this? Bro bought his laptop from Darknet, bro. Hope Vi Caitlyn doing scissors and that. They're gonna do it. We haven't gotten a sex scene yet. We know there's gonna be a sex scene in season 2. So unless it's fucking Victor smashing the arcane magic stuff, it's probably gonna be Kate Vi. You love the technical difficulties. Well, that makes you. Chat like halves every time I cut out. The real war is gonna be with me and Riot. Well, if they're dropping $250 skins, yeah. Like, it's called Riot Games for a reason. If it's between Mel and Jace again, see, that's repetitive. That's what I say was repetitive, because we're not getting anything new. I can see that take. We're not getting anything new with Jinx being a villain. But I mean, if she gets redeemed, that's giving something. Because the first time Vi and Jinx fought, like, nothing changed. I guess Vi turned depressed and emo, but yeah, if this time they fought and Vi, like, turn Jinx to a good side, then yeah. Also, I know there's leaks for Act 3 out, but one, I don't look at leaks. You can believe that if you want. It's good to question the authenticity of that because I can't prove that I haven't watched the leaks, but it's good to be skeptical about what you consume online. So I respect people who think that. Number 2, the leaks apparently came from 4chan. All right, like, are you shitting me? I know they got episode 6 right, but like, there's a lot of reasons why they could have gotten episode 6 right. So the fact that there are leaks out there, it doesn't mean anything to me. That's my cope, at least. Yeah. We never get anything new in the show. That's why. Whoa, okay. What does that mean? Like always, we never get anything new in the show. That's why Jinx can't be the villain. Well, that's a micro reason. There's a lot of ways they can write it to make it so that it's that it's not repetitive. Also, let me do predictable. Hold on. Why is this crashing? Dude, there's no way my spreadsheet fucking crashed. I mean, they're leaks, but I don't believe them, okay? And people in the comments think they're so smart. They're like, you're wrong, you're wrong. Wow. Wow. Why? Because you figured that out and you're a genius? No, because you looked at fucking leaks and you think you're slick. Get out of here. And Black Rose is in Arcane, yeah. Let's see. Jinx can't be a villain as always. Like, it feels so repetitive. I mean, like, Vi fighting Savika again, yes, that's repetitive. And Jace probably fighting Victor again is repetitive. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Predicted. Can I click? Can I click? Predictable. So, being predictable, it's gonna be the Arcane. Arcane taking over. No one expects that. But counterpoint. Like, it's also predictable that in the Lord of the Rings, everyone just fights Sauron. That like, but everyone needs to fight Sauron because like he's the main villain. That's what the whole story is building around, that conflict. Just like how this story, shut the fuck up. I'm not covering. No, are you converting today? Okay. Just like how this story is built all around Piltover and Zahn, the Jinx and Vi conflict. So, whatever. Counterpoint. Holy, I cannot spell. Counter Sauron. Let's see. Imagine if Kate becomes a villain. I think everyone around the round table, they're not going to be the villain just because like that's just how the narrative is framing them to be. Jinx killing Vander, then killing Silco being the villain. Boo-hoo, give us something new. I mean, Jinx killing Silco didn't really make her the villain. She only became the villain when she shot a rocket. And that's like saying, oh, Sauron sending people to go after Frodo. That's predictable. Like, yeah, he's the villain. That's like the story has been saying that Sauron is the villain the whole time. So I mean, it's just media literacy. Okay, if I were to ask you what Arcane is about, one sentence, tell me what Arcane is about. Is it about outside forces? Is it like a story about Noxus invading Piltover? A story of invasion? A story about magic? Not really. Those are secondary plot points. What is Piltover about? Well, what is Arcane about? Two cities fighting each other, okay? Or the deeply traumatic, okay, trauma-rooted dynamic of family. I hope there's a Noxus spinoff with Vi. Wait, a Noxus spinoff with Mel? I think like they're setting up Noxus to be the next place. The only reason in my video that I didn't say it was Noxus, I mean, that's too easy of a guess. It's not gonna be. I don't know. I just think any lukewarm take like that, like wow, number one Noxus, that's boring. But also that's also why I don't think Noxus is the most likely next place after Arcane because it's so set up. Just like I think the creators are very creative in that aspect where they just want to do something no one else has done, something like way out of their depth. So personal biases, I just think they're gonna do something far removed, like a setting far removed from Piltover and Zahn, with like no relation at all, just to define it on its own. So that's why I think it's gonna be Bilgewater. But yeah, it's probably likely gonna be Noxus. Heimerdinger Echo Bang scene. How old is Echo? Ambessa gets her Hextech weapons. Maddie and Jinx get married. Fine, Jinx will die. We're about getting human relationships and they always go into. It's about human relationships and they always go into. Yeah. All about relationships. I hope Mel becomes the what? Or maybe something with Ionia Singed. Jinx is depressed. Jinx could be depressed. Micro reason. Let's see. So in the final, let's see, Act 2. In the very end of Act 2, we get Isha dying, but we also get Victor saying that ultimate goodness leads to most evilness or something edgy like that. So based on how Act 2 ended off, it looks like it's gonna be Victor. Again, I'm gonna remind everyone that the story has not been about Arcane versus humanity. Well, maybe, but that's like a tertiary theme of the story, a tertiary conflict. Primary conflict, Piltover versus Zahn, and the dynamic between Jinx and Vi. Familial relationships, if someone's far too gone, you know, just like reaching out to people, and if you're the villain or not. how far can one go before they're far too gone? Act 2, it's gonna look like Victor. Are there any other points? I want to see Jay suffer, Maddie suffer, someone actually likable, happy. Probably not gonna happen though. I mean, hopefully Jinx gets forgiven at the end. I always said Jinx looks forgiven. And okay, Jinx and Mbessa working together. Yeah, I don't think I think Jinx just joins the battle and fights with Mbessa. That's all I think happens because their goals aligned and both of them are fighting Piltover. And Jinx probably just wants to destroy Piltover because she doesn't care anymore. And maybe be a hero to Zahn. We'll see. But along the lines of that, Jinx isn't going to have a good relationship with Mbessa. They're not going to be tight knit because Mbessa doesn't have Hextech weapons. If Mbessa found her Hextech engineer, the first thing she would do is like, bro, give me better weapons. That's like the whole reason she was fucking sitting around Piltover for like a whole last year. Piltover and Zahn will unite against the war. Okay. The thing about that, we don't see anything like that. The closest thing is the Firelights and the Piltover reunite. But okay, let me ask you this question: if Piltover and Zahn unites in the war, is Savika gonna fight with Piltover? Is it within Savika's character to fight with Piltover against Noxus? I don't think so. If you're Savika, you're gonna be jumping. You're gonna be jumping Piltover right after they just lost half their army against Noxus. That's just how it goes. What drives us to our greatest good drives us to our greatest evil. Is that the actual quote? Hinting at how Isha inspired Jinx to be the hero and her death leads her to bring the villain. I do agree with that, but because it's also Victor saying that, and that episode 6 was all focused around Victor and the Arcane stat. People also say the Void. Okay, the problem with the Void being the ultimate villain of Arcane is also like the Black Rose being the ultimate villain of Arcane. It comes out of nowhere. It has nothing to do with the characters of the story. It has nothing to do with the narrative itself, and it has nothing to do with the main plot of Piltover, which is literally Piltover versus Zahn. Unless there's like a sub-conflict of Zahn and Piltover unite against the Void, but still, like you're pushing the conflict of everyone versus the Void first, and the Piltover and Zahn conflict second. So that's my gripes about that. So anyone mentioning Void stuff, that's like Black Rose level. Jace becoming the villain. Okay, the thing is, the show Arcane, they love the glazed Jace. They love gassing him, jacking him off every other episode. Like in the story, they are breastfeeding to us that Jace is the hero, that Jace is the good guy. Whoa, Jace is so cool. And then the whole fandom were like, that's fucking cap. Jace fucking murdered Isha. He shot Victor. What the fuck is this guy doing? Well, what's one good thing he did in his life? Like, this guy goes homeless. He gets stuck in the void, and all of a sudden, this guy thinks he's a hero. He's a champion. No, okay? He's just a privileged kid who knows nothing about anything, and everything you do results in failure. You have one victory in your whole life, and you just let that define you. But you're an L. You're the biggest L in both cities. You can't accomplish anything. You're useless, okay? You peaked 10 years ago. So get out of here. You're nothing. Victor is the final villain, not Mbessa. That's a small theory I have. Yeah, okay. Guys, give me reasons. We need to fill out this chart. So again, I'm biased against Victor being that because the story has never been about Victor versus Piltover. If Victor was the main enemy in that case. Out of everyone here, what is Arcane about? The most narrative significant reasoning of someone being the villain is, what is Arcane about? Jinx being the villain. Jinx starting war. Okay, season 1 has not at all been about Mbessa. Season 1 has also not been about Victor being evil. That's a season 2 plot point. But even in season 1, Jinx was the enemy of the nation. She stole the Hex Gem. She's killing enforcers. She's working for Silco and pushing his drug empire. She's even a villain to Zahn. So she just wants to watch everything burn. I think Mbessa and Victor can both be... They're going to be villains. They're definitely going to be villains. Since Singed is reviving Victor, there is a very likely Mbessa-Victor team-up. I don't know how that goes. We don't know why Jace did what he did. We need more info, yeah. We do need info. There's probably a good reason. Like, Sallow's not breathing. They can't just keep writing from the past. No, but you have to write... Because, okay, let's say Arcane keeps going, and all of a sudden at the very end, Vi's like, I'm the villain. I just, I don't know. I brainwashed Jinx. I talked her into being my sister, and I made her build these epic new fists of mine that can blow up Piltover, and then Vi explodes all of Piltover. That's not repetitive at all. It's not predictable at all. It comes out of nowhere, but that's the problem. It's not narratively built. The story has never been about Vi destroying Piltover, being the villain of the city. It's just not. So not being predictable, that's not a good reason, because it's literally the opposite. What is the story building up to? It's not gonna be boring. It's not gonna be boring. There's a million ways they can write Jinx being the villain to not be boring. So you saying that would be boring, that's factually, that's an insult to the writers. Like, possibly it can be boring to you. That's a different take. Either Arcane would be objectively boring, or Jinx being the villain would be boring to you. But there are ways to write things. How's stream going? I'm having a mental breakdown. But this is discussion. It's an insult to the writers. Okay, let me use a different example, because I haven't watched Lord of the Rings, and I literally don't know. I can be talking about my ass about Sauron being the villain. What's another show that's important? Can I say Star Wars? I haven't watched Star Wars either. What's a show people watch that elicits this point? I can't do it. Okay. Let me think back. Let me think back through everything I've watched. I don't know how many people here watched anime. I just have to talk about super mainstream stuff. What is the mainstream thing? All right, my point's falling apart. Because if they're gonna keep writing season 2 from season 1, then can they even write, bro? Well, that's like saying, why would Vi get into a relationship with Caitlyn? She was in a relationship with Caitlyn all of season 1. That's repetitive. Let's make Vi not talk to Caitlyn at all in season 2. Also, this is a new writer I heard, not the same writer from. Well, it's still Amanda Overton, Christian Link, and Alex Yee writing Arcane. And they said okay. The thing is, they said that they thought out the whole story from not the whole story, obviously, but the major beats of the story from the very beginning. Arcane, they always had a specific story in mind. So on that point, you're arguing on macro level. Micro level is completely non-existent. If you're arguing about things feeling repetitive, that's on micro level, because you're saying how they would write things in a very similar way. On the grand scheme of things, they have a specific story in mind. Arcane was originally intended to have one season, and it was supposed to end actually at Act 2 of Season 2, or Act 1 of Season 2. They said that. They said how Episode 9 was not originally supposed to be the ending, and how the real ending was Season 2, Act 1. Season 2, Act 1, it ended with Vi versus Jinx. So they probably just expanded on that, but in their mind, they're still going for Vi versus Jinx. Victor will become the third villain that destroys both villains. Well, that's the main villain. That's the final villain. The most narratively impactful villain. Also, I want to talk about stakes. Stakes. When it comes to stakes, Mbessa has no stakes. If everyone unites against Mbessa, no one cares. Okay, this is the climax. Things are exciting. If everyone just pushes aside all their differences to fight Mbessa, there are no stakes. That's just how it is. And Mbessa isn't that villainous of a villain to give those stakes. Does Mbessa look like someone who can 1v1 Caitlyn, Jace, Vi, Jinx, Echo, everyone? No. She got 1v1 and destroyed by Vi. Okay, she has no aura. So not Mbessa. Comes to stakes, it's Arcane. It's just their Arcane. I can't even argue for Victor. Does Victor look like 1v? Actually, kind of maybe. We don't know how that's gonna go. Victor might actually be able to conjure a whole ass army, but not Jinx. Not Jinx, unless she takes control of the Arcane and blows up Piltover. But as of what we have right now, I can't say that. I feel like Alex is undercredited. If Alex is now, that's on him. Okay, he deserves the under. If he wanted credit, he can always come out, do some interviews, do anything. So it's what he wants. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight. That's okay. That's okay. Because Victor's saying about the contrast of evil and good. Well, yeah, Victor's going to go and also matches with his league counterpoint, because Victor in league turns evil. Well, he kind of evil, anti-hero, whatever, and he goes down that path. So we're building up to that. But the Arcane is probably going to be the main plot driver. Actually, can I plot, stakes. Yeah, the Arcane's going to be the main stake driver of the series. In order to dial everything up, they've always used the Arcane hex tech to increase stakes. Powder blowing everyone up, hex tech. Jason inventing hex tech in episode 3, also hex tech. Victor fucking dying, Warwick turning insane, and everyone. I guess it's kind of chem tech because of Singed, but ultimately also hex tech. How powerful the Arcane gets, how powerful hex tech is wielded by its users, that has always been what drove stakes. But since Victor's freaking out right now, since there are primordial ancient forms of the Arcane that are growing in power, that are spreading over all Piltover, the only driver of stakes here is the Arcane. The villains are Victor, Jinx, and Bessa, and Singed. My ratings are, and Bessa is obviously the villain. Jinx will, and Bessa's not the, okay, that's the problem. I don't like Bessa being the final villain just because it's not impactful. Also, it's contrived. She comes in season 2. I guess she's just the villain now. I guess the story has always been about Ambessa, right? And that would just really undermine a lot of the season 1 writing. Because no part of the season 1 story has been about Ambessa. I don't think Jinx is going to be the villain. Drop some points. This is what we're going to be discussing. Sibley, Victor will resurrect Oriana. It's very likely. The Victor, Singed, and Bessa team up, it seems really plausible. I think Victor, they're okay. They're not going to be, it's probably going to be super loosely tied together. And Bessa doesn't have any Hextech weapons in her final fight. None at all. So Victor's probably not working with her. Singed probably doesn't get his hands on any Hextech. And Jinx is not building any weapons for her. So they're probably all going to be in the final battle with their own separate interests. They're not going to be directly wanting to benefit each other. A really loose alliance. The story doesn't have to be about the villain. We can have villains that aren't the main focus. Yes, you can have villains that aren't the main focus, but we're talking about the final villain. Okay, not even the final conflict. We're talking about the final conflict. And has Arcane been about like people using magic? Not really. It's been about Piltover versus Zon. The conflict it's always been external. And on that aspect, there like with leaders being a major theme of Arcane, you're gonna have a leader of Piltover, you're gonna have a leader of Zon, and they're gonna clash. And every episode of season 1 during the enemy song, it shows Vi fighting Jinx. So that's my biases, but you can say that Victor leading Zon, that's also a viable option. Victor could be a good representation of Zon. Again, season 2 has been telling us that Jinx is the representation of Zon. She is Zon's symbol. She is everything what Zon represents. So if you're gonna have a Piltover versus Zon conflict, it's gonna be Jinx on the villain. But you could argue that, oh, who's gonna fight Jinx? Is it gonna be Jace versus Jinx? Jace versus Jinx? I do talk about that. I think that is something that's gonna happen because Jinx and Jace, they have never met a single time. I think Arcane, they're purposely keeping them far apart from each other so they can fight each other as representations of both cities. But it's probably just going to end up as Vi versus Jinx. Because you can't say that Vi doesn't represent all of Piltover. Yes, that is a good argument. Vi's not as representative of Piltover as Jace. But if Vi, everything she stands for, if she stands for peace, fights against Jinx, the embodiment of war, also could be in Bessa, and Bessa represents war. Then you have the narrative of Arcane being peace and war. Peace versus war. Vi learned about peace in Act 1. That's a good point. Is Arcane more about Piltover versus Zon or peace and war? Because we started off on the bridge between Piltover and Zon, but also in a battlefield. I think the Arcane thing will be the final villain. Again, comes out of nowhere. The story has never been about the Arcane being the final villain. We don't start off on the bridge and there's like mages casting magic and everyone shooting fireballs at each other. So that's the only problem with that. The Arcane is less narratively important than Jinx versus Vi or Piltover versus Zon. And Bessa is the villain because she wants Hex. That's micro reasoning. Caitlyn will kick her out of Piltover and Bessa gets mad. Motivation. And Bessa has the motivation. We don't know Victor's motivation. He probably has motivation. Jinx, we don't know her motivation. We just don't know Jinx's motivation. We don't know Arcane's motivation. Actually, I guess it's less Victor. Victor's being driven by the Arcane. So this is what I'm going to have. If there's motivation, what makes sense, it's going to be Ambessa. She wants Hextech. She wants fight Piltover. She wants Scientist or whatever. If you're talking about, yeah, also the Arcane wants to spread itself. By the way they've set up the teaser, and after what I seen in Act 2, it doesn't make sense that she. What do you mean that she turned on? That Jinx will turn on them? Okay, that's also okay. So there's 3 levels of the trailer. Act 3 trailer. Surface level. Surface level. Jinx is the villain. Why do I say that? Because in the very first trailer, Caitlyn says this has to end, and Jinx said then stop me. So Jinx is the driver of conflict. Very surface level. Don't look any deeper. What is the trailer trying to tell us if we have like 1 IQ and we are 5 years old? It's telling us Jinx is the villain. Also, at the very end of the Act 3 trailer, it shows Jinx shooting a Gatling gun and Vi blocking. So super surface level, it's just saying Jinx is villain. This doesn't mean anything. The trailers can lie to us. The trailers have lied to us. Slightly deeper, or okay, deeper level. Deeper level. You can look at, let's see, Jinx and Echo team up, possibly with Piltover. Deeper, because they have spray paint on each other, so you can look into that. There's some connection between Echo and Jinx, and then narrative level. This is what we're discussing. Let's see. Warwick is dead. Possibly Warwick could come back in our. Let's see. Okay, who is all cube is daring a bit too hard. Mel becomes villain because she wants peace. Becomes a true villain. I think everyone at the table is just portrayed to be a hero, so there's not a lot of nuance in that. Oh, okay, a little bit nuance. Okay, Arcane's complex, but you know what I'm saying. They're pretty directly being portrayed as oh, they're gonna save everyone. Also, surface level, they said that Victor's behind everything. Victor behind. And then also they show Ambessa fighting everyone. Also deeper level, Arcane taking over. Because the Arcane is taking over, we see it's come all over all the Piltover buildings. I do think Echo and Jinx will have one moment together. Melsa. Okay, a lot of people say that Jinx and Echo team up with the paint. That's micro reasoning. Let's see, paint. I guess it's just not Jinx. Can I do an X? Well, how can I change this to an X? I'll just highlight this red. So I guess people means that this means Jinx and Echo, they can't be together, or they're gonna be together. Only problem with that I see is like, also there's a lot of reasons why Echo could have paint. It could just be a situation like Savika where Jinx trolls him and just strings him up and paints all over him because he tried to save her. That's possible. Jinx has been shown as a hero this season the entire time. Okay, the thing is, the ending of this season, it's not an ending to Arcane Season 2. They wrote this ending to end all of Arcane. And Jinx has been shown as a villain more than she's been shown as a hero. And if you are talking about Jinx being shown the hero, portrayal. Jinx has always been the hero of Zaun, not the hero of Piltover. Like, at every single point. So, if you're going to argue that story's been about Piltover versus Zaun, I think we can agree on that. Then she's going to go against Piltover. I would love her to be a villain, but Mel has to overthrow her mommy so she can take her place. I mean, Mel's probably busted, dude. The Black Rose, they're like bending over backwards wanting to get her. So Mel's magic, I think it's if Jinx blows up Piltover, it's pretty likely Mel just like, I don't know, she probably pulls some bullshit and makes a shield around every single Piltover person so no one dies. A bit contrived, I have to admit. Mike is the final villain. Who's Mike? Probably a typo. I think it really depends on your definition of a villain. Okay, by villain, I guess I should say antagonist. Like, who is the person standing in the way of the plot? I guess in this aspect, let's see. Antagonist. What's the plot about? That goes back to the first point. What's the plot about? Piltover versus Zaun, peace and more. Okay, I'm not gonna check off Jinx, but like that's where I'm leaning. But let's see, antagonist. Ambessa's standing in the way of literally nothing. She doesn't affect Piltover and Zon. She's a third party. That's what third party is. Victor could be antagonist. The Arcane taking over. Yeah, possibly. And then Jinx. Jinx is antithetical to the Arcane story. Joe Biden is the final villain. Well, he's gonna be gone soon, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I think it really. Let's see. Mbessa, definitely Victor. I think there won't be villains and good guys. I think they'll be both have justified reasons to fight and win. 100%. Everything about there are no villains in Arcane. So yeah, title's a bit inaccurate. A lot inaccurate. I feel like Hextech is just as main story as Piltover versus Zon. So if you have to choose, is the story about Hextech or is it about Piltover versus Zon? Gun to your head, which one would you pick? Why they bother showing magic if it's not even part of the show? Because it drives the stakes. It literally that's why things are happening. But is the underlying reason between things happening, is it the Arcane or is it the Piltover and Zon class conflict? You see, that's true. That's true. Piltover is Hextech, Zon is Shimmer. They are intertwined, but look, if you strip down the plot, could you have? Okay, is Arcane? Let's say, strip away everything, one or the other. Okay, is Arcane about Piltover versus Zon and no Hextech at all, or is it about no Piltover and Zon, just about Hextech? The story's more built around Piltover and Zon. Jinx did some shitty things, but Zon is a rough. Pretty much all Zonists have done shitty. Jace is useless and would be useless. The story would be shit. That's valid. That is valid. Jace would be useless, not founding Hextech. It's the okay. The Hextech does drive a lot of plot. That's why like fucking a building exploded. That's why everyone hunted after Powder or hunted after Zonites. Yeah, but okay, if you have only Hextech and no Piltover and Zon, then you would have Jason Victor, but you literally wouldn't have everyone else. You wouldn't have Silco, who like literally represents the Piltover Zon conflict. You wouldn't have Civica. You wouldn't have. I guess these are minor characters compared to Jason Victor, but like Hextech. Echo didn't even have Hextech since like as we know right now. Who's gotten Hextech? Vi, Jace, Victor, Jinx. Am I missing someone? I feel like I'm missing someone. All right, they're probably not important. I can't personally wrap my head around your theory of Jinx team up with Mbessa. She's responsible. Okay, it's a loose team up. Okay, what I think is happening is like for some reason or another, Jinx finds out Mbessa's attacking Piltover, and Jinx is like, "Bet I'm gonna just join in and fight." It's not gonna be like Jinx is gonna be like, "Oh, Mbessa, you're so hot. I'm gonna sleep with you. I'm gonna build you Hextech weapons." But ultimately, okay, what's gonna happen with Zon, guys? We gotta answer this. What do you think is gonna happen with Zon? How are they gonna join in the final fight? Are they already in the final fight we see right now? Don't say the Firelights because the Firelights don't represent Zon. Or you can argue that. Caitlyn, I'm missing Caitlyn. Caitlyn has never been portrayed as. Okay, that's wrong. That's wrong. Act 1, Caitlyn was portrayed as a dictator. But overall in the story, has Caitlyn been portrayed as a good person or a bad person? And everyone at the round table talking at the end. Mel, Jace, Vi. Am I missing someone? I'm missing someone. Mel, Jace, Vi, Caitlyn. Mel, Jace, Vi, and Caitlyn, they're all chill. Okay, they know what's up. And Caitlyn was also complaining that she was listening to the war pig that is Mbessa, oink, oink, oink. The whole reason she cared about Piltover and Zon is because of Isha? No. Okay. Jinx, because of Isha, Jinx cared less about Zon. Well, let me think. So Act 1, Jinx, she was roaming the lanes by herself. She didn't do anything. And then the only reason she teamed up with Civica was because she wanted to extinguish her past. That's why Jinx did her smoke stuff, because for some reason or another, she thought it would lead to her erasing by and just moving on. And once she met Isha in Act 2, she didn't do anything. She went into hiding. Why would Jinx go into hiding? Because she doesn't want the responsibility. She doesn't want to disappoint Isha. Isha's gone now. Would that want to make Jinx want to represent Zon more or less? You can argue both ways. They are both equally valid. You can say how Jinx doesn't want to disappoint anyone ever again, does not take up the mantle. Or because of what Isha wanted Jinx to do, she leads on. So I can't really argue that point. Yeah, I agree. Jinx has never given two fucks about Zon or Soko's dream. No. She was just doing her own shit. But on that aspect, if that's what you're arguing, Chucky is Nanami. I'll say Nanami. If you're arguing on that point, then Jinx being the final villain fighting on behalf of Zon, it would not be repetitive. So that's the reason for that. We can argue. You can argue other things, of course. Rip Isha. Who knows? Maybe Echo comes in at the end, reverses time, grabs what's her name? Grabs Isha in the nick of time, and then he's like, Heimerdinger made me this cure for Shimmer that injected into Warwick. Stabs into Warwick. He turns all the way back into Vander. He's like, boy, I love you. I love this family. And he beats up all the Noxons. They pack Mbessa home. And everyone just gets milkshakes and eats fish at Jericho's bar. Okay, it's a good time. If she has taken the mantle earlier, she wouldn't be in the situation, is how she'll look at that. Okay, so you're saying that if Jinx was like, if I was the leader of Piltover, Isha wouldn't have gotten involved? That could be true, but that's micro reasoning, and it's hard to argue on that basis. Like, on that, it's very specific. There's a million ways Arcane can go. Yeah, but Isha died to save them. It would make sense that Jinx would go for the person who killed Isha. Well, I think in that case, it makes it even more likely. If Jinx wants Piltover gone. That's been the core part of her character. She just wants to destroy everything. Well, you can argue that's not the case for season 2, but she wants to destroy everything and she wants to destroy Mbessa. Okay, Jinx kills Mbessa first, and then she wants to attack Piltover. Jinx isn't dumb. Okay, if Mbessa's gonna attack Piltover for whatever reason, yes, they're the weaker force. The Noxons are the underdogs. They don't got Hex Tech. They only have Shimmer. But they're a bunch of side characters. Like, your army is fodder. The only notable person you have on your team was Mbessa and Rictus. Rictus is gone. So only Mbessa charging into Piltover. You're fighting like 10 main characters. You're cooked. You're donezo. There's nothing you can do. Jinx would want Mbessa to just kill herself fighting Piltover, and then she would just come in for the scraps. Writers literally said there's a season of forgiveness. Vand and Soko never made amends. The two sisters doing something that two brothers couldn't. Again, if the season is about forgiveness, then the moment of forgiveness, it's gonna happen at the climax when the conflict between the two sisters are at its highest. That's how it feels the most powerful. If you have forgiveness already, one of the major plot points of the show, after Act 1, Jinx and Vi split. That's been like a big reason why everything is happening. Why Vi is chasing after Jinx. Why Jinx is blowing up everything. She's not mentally sane. That's what's happening. And if you're gonna resolve one of the major conflicts of the show, might as well be at the climax. But the thing is, it's still unresolved. Jinx versus Vi, there's still some shit there because we see Vi crying to Jinx about rewriting her story in the trailer. So. Yes. You could say that Jinx, after hearing Vi say that, she turns good, works for Piltover and Zon, but that goes to my stake argument. There's no stakes there. The climax wouldn't be exciting. People are going to complain that Jinx all of a sudden became good, just like Caitlyn. Remember when Caitlyn just teamed up with Vi all of a sudden to just take down Mbessa? There was no build up to that, even though a large part of season 2 has been about Caitlyn and Vi's conflict. All of a sudden, they just put things together, put things aside. They together fight Mbessa. I don't think anyone liked that. No, okay. Exaggerating. I exaggerate a lot. But again, that's a big critique of Act 2 because that came out of nowhere. Okay. Mbessa's now assumed to building Warwick again. They do have a weapon. Mbessa's been after Hextech, though. That's probably why she's attacking Piltover. And, okay, they have Warwick. Yeah. Mbessa could have Warwick. But I don't think Warwick's gonna stop the Black Rose. They fucking kidnapped Mel. They like just like that. They had their hands all over Mbessa. So I don't think Warwick would be that helpful. But it's hard to power scale. Maybe if Warwick was in that scenario, he would be able to fight back. You could say that. Noxus will potentially also have Victor in his final robotic form. 100%. Yes, Shinji will revive Victor. I don't know how to what extent he'll join Noxus, because Mbessa, no Hextech weapons. None at all. So Victor probably did not build anything for him. He's probably doing his own thing. Vi is saying that because Jinx is too depressed to do anything. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a fantastic point. That's a fantastic point, Nanami. That's probably why Vi's telling, because Jinx doesn't want to do anything. We see her in the trailer. She's just like lighting matches, throwing them in like oil or whatever. She just doesn't care. Forgiveness. If the audience forgives Fertish and Riot for the ending, thoughts? Only if they make more Arcane stuff. You don't have to call it Arcane. Next season, if it's about Piltover, or if it's about Bilgewater or something, or if it's about Noxus, you can call the show like, I don't know, Conflict. That's a great name, okay? But don't act like Arcane is a good name. Arcane's a terrible name. I'll fight till my last breath that Arcane was a bad name for this series, but it's probably the best name that they could have done. Like, it's hard to name this show. Because Jinx turning into a villain makes zero sense as well. Well, no, it makes sense. Well, because you could say that at the end of season 1, why did Jinx shoot a rocket at the council? That made zero sense. Because the person, other than Jinx, most responsible for Soko's death, you could blame Vi. Wouldn't Jinx want to like be like, Vi, you got my dad killed. That's it. Let's fight. So again, Jinx hasn't been the most logical. He wasn't able to inject him though. Caitlyn, no. Caitlyn did inject Warwick. Well, it's strongly hinted because all of a sudden Warwick was orange. She was spitting out lava or whatever, and right after Warwick got up and started attacking everyone, we actually get a shot of Piltover. Or not Piltover. We got a shot of the inside of the house that they were all in, and we see Sin standing up menacingly. Arcane is a nice name. Dude, if I told someone, watch a show about Arcane, like, what do they think? What do they think in their mind? Nothing. I guess if you could say something, oh, watch Breaking Bad. What's Breaking Bad about? No, that's dumb. I guess just all titles suck. Is there a show with a good title? Ben 10. Ben 10, that's a good title. Because there's a kid named Ben, and he has 10 aliens. You can't extrapolate the 10 aliens from the 10. Well, like, you just hear that. You're like, there's a kid named Ben, there's 10 of something. I'm interested. Yes. Because of Soko's dream, again, because of Soko's dream, he wanted her to do that. You can say the same thing. Because of Soko's dream, Jinx would turn full villain then. So, you gotta pick your poison. Let's see, he won the war or whatever. Yeah. Isha's dream is to freeze on, and that's not gonna happen with Mbessa. Okay, let's get on that point. Let's see. If everyone comes together, Jinx teams up with Piltover, or Zon teams up with Piltover, they defeat Mbessa. All Zon's doing is just putting their trust back into the council again, after they just treated them like shit for a whole season, gassing them. And that would make no sense. Like, Arcane is realistic. This isn't going to be Teletubbies where everyone just comes together and they just put aside their differences. It's going to be like Attack on Titan. As much as I hate to say, I don't like the Attack on Titan ending at all. She took down the council, yeah, but there's a new council. What didn't Mbessa tell us when she was talking? What's his name? When Salo was saying he's like the others, they're cringe or something. I think Salo implied that there's a new council. My only fear is that after this Saturday, we might never see these characters again. No, we'll see them again. We will definitely. Arcane is such a huge IP. Riot, they're pushing very forward in this direction with their live action stuff, their movie projects. It has never been his dream for Jinx to be a villain. Well, it has always been Silco's dream for Jinx to be the villain of Topside, hero of Zon. Jinx can be a villain for Piltover and a hero of Zon at the same time. I'm not saying Jinx is going to be with Piltover. She's going to be against Piltover and Mbessa. Well, that's why I see it pretty likely that Jinx probably betrays Mbessa at the end. Like, Mbessa probably like wipes out all the enforcers and whatnot, gets Piltover in a really vulnerable position, and then she just fires on him and then steals, I don't know, the arcane magic from Victor and blows up Piltover. But that's headcanon. That's headcanon, okay? That's not a point to this argument about who's going to be the final villain. It was never. Let's see. I'm not saying Jinx made pillars. Yes, from Silka's perspective, he was right. Kinda, kinda. Because Silka was considering accepting the deal, but again, last words of Arcane season 1. We will show them. We will show them all. And Jinx showed Piltover what happens when you fuck with Zon. Jinx moved on after that one scene where she said, "Guess you're really gone." Whoa, definitely after fanning. What does that mean? When does Jinx said, "Guess you're really gone"? Okay, I can't remember. That's probably season 2 because I remember everything about season 1, but I have not had the time to rewatch season 2. Jinx moved on after one scene. Okay, I think Jinx just learned that ignoring her role in Zon doesn't save her any hardship. Ignoring her role in Zon doesn't save her any hardship. Doesn't save her. Okay, yeah. So okay, so you're saying that Jinx is going to hurt regardless? That's possible. Now I said that would make Ambessa a shitty character. They have to at least make her a bit smart. Ambessa getting betrayed by Jinx. You're right. That is a very good point. I got mod you. I got mod you. You keep dropping bangers. Okay. This is as I said, every narrative needs conflict. Now that my internet's slightly getting better, then yeah, we're not having internet conflict anymore. So now it's just me and Chad. They at least have to make her a bit smart. Okay. Well, what's Ambessa's end goal here? She defeats Piltover, gets. That's true. That is very true. Ambessa's written to be smart. Okay. That really depends. Ambessa's written to be smart, but she's also being written to be desperate. And we don't know which one the writers want to portray her more as. Because Ambessa can easily lose. That's a micro reason. Ambessa can easily lose because she's being too desperate and she just does a Hail Mary charge. Ambessa can easily win because she's smart. She knows Jinx will betray her. She has some backup options where she injects herself with like super secret shimmer roll and destroys everything. So that's possible. I understand now Victor's glorious evolution. Yes. We have the Black Rose, everything about Mel, Echo and Heimerdinger, Jinxvine, Vander, Noxus, Arcane, Singe's daughter. There's so much to handle for 2 hours. No, it's not going to handle for 2 hours. We have confirmation that episode 9 is like really long. I don't think we got a specific number about how long it is. Probably like 1 hour, maybe. I think somewhere in my mind, I'm thinking 1 hour. That episode 9 is going to be 1 hour. So, considering if episode 1 and 2 or episodes 7 and 8 are like 45 minutes, we get 2.5 hours. Hextech, so she can defeat the Black Rose. Again, yes. Ambessa's after Hextech. That is definitely what she's after. But I'm thinking because Shimmer's pretty fucking strong. Okay, Vi with Hextech, Savika with Shimmer. She was giving some a good run for her money. And Savika's new arm, the Chomper arm, that has no Hextech at all. No Hextech, no no Shimmer, just Chemtech. And that shit was a beast. But yeah, Hextech is written to be more important than Shimmer, more important than Chemtech. So Ambessa wants it. Fight Black Rose. But I mean, again, not really. Her the Black Rose is extraneous to Arcane. That's not what the story's about. The whole climax hinging on the main conflict, being about Ambessa wanting to get weapons. That as the major plot point of the show, I think that's dumb. Just because it undermines everything else the short stories has been about. Everything else the story has been about. They're pushing aside Piltover and Zon. They're pushing aside Jinx and Vi, their conflict, their interpersonal conflict. Just to build up the next show. So I don't think the writers would do that. But that's out of story reasons. All of them need an hour long. I hope they're an hour long. I like the pacing. I like the Arcane pacing. I think for a super fan like most of us here who studied Arcane, who rewatched it more than 10 times, then pacing is fine. We can follow everything because we understand the series. But not everyone rewatches Arcane a million times, so they're gonna cry about it, and we just have to deal with that. Yeah, we actually know basically nothing about the Black Rose and Mel. I hope we get a little bit more. I mean, Mel got out like that. Okay, probably not like that. Mel probably has to fight one more person with their special magic powers, but yeah, Mel just got out of the Black Rose shit. Now she's just back. She's chilling. She's focusing on bigger threats. So I hope the Black Rose just stays in the background. What's Chemtech? Chemtech is all of the technology in the Undercity that is not Hex Tech. So like Smeech's arms, Savika's arm, Rennie's chem tanks. Yeah. Jinx's enemy seems to be Singed from my perspective. That's a micro reason. Okay. Yes, yes. You could say how Jinx wants to. Well, she doesn't know that. No one knows that whether Singed injected Vander or not. So the micro reason for that could be like, oh, Jinx finds out Singed did that, so she would fight. She would want to fight Singed. But you can also have a counteracting micro reason that Ambessa just doesn't tell Jinx about it because she's not dumb. So that's why I don't like arguing micro reasons, why things would make sense. Okay, why things in story would make logical sense on what would happen, and you have to look at the greater themes of the story. That's how I predicted Jinx was going to be the leader, symbolic leader of Zon. Savika was the practical leader. Why, and also the narrative was just strictly telling us that the Hex Core is alive, trying to take over Victor. So, yeah, I think Jinx has to die, sacrifice maybe. I would love that. I would really like that. Well, what is the spreadsheet showing? Okay, the spreadsheet showing the different reasons on who's going to be the final villain. Okay, I'm going to go over this really fast. So the micro narrative reason, it's about like in story what would make sense to happen, and macro narrative, yeah, larger story picture. Key example: Mel dies because she's in front of the rocket. You guys have no idea how many comments I've gotten about that. Again, micro narrative, there's a million different ways they can logically make sense why Mel did not die because of the rocket. Macro narrative reason, she just survives because she's an important character. She has unresolved plot points. Out of story reasons, or you look on the bigger level that what's Mel's purpose in the story? Is it to die by a rocket? No, I mean kind of. That would have been good. And in here, repetitiveness. They can all just be written as repetitive or not repetitive. Who makes sense right now? Victor and Bessa. Victor's turning evil and Bessa wants Hex Tech. Who are opposites? Wait, okay, yeah. The writer said each character will be the opposite of themselves in the season. Jinx could be the opposite by becoming a hero of Zon. Not Piltover, of Zon, and that's why she could be a villain. Victor can be the opposite because he is going to turn bad since he was so good in season 1. And everything else, yeah, I think you get the point. If there's anything specific, you can ask me. And Bessa's not dumb, and Jinx has no way of finding out Singed did that. I agree. So that's why I don't think the Singed thing is a good reason. Or maybe she can piece it together. Because Jinx also is very detail orientated. When I think she heard Vi yell like Caitlyn once on the bridge, or not on the bridge. When Vi met Jinx in episode 6 of season 1. And then when Jinx was like going through her breakdown at the very beginning of episode 7, she was trying to remember what did Vi call Caitlyn. Her name is Caitlyn, and then tracked her down to where she lived. So Jinx might also notice that, so that is a very possible way how Jinx finds out Singed drugged Warwick. I can see Vi dying as well. I think Vi dying is more likely than Jinx dying. Oh yeah, I was talking about that. I think Jinx dying would be great for the story. Be a great way to wrap up everything. Great way to shut up all of those commenters who are like champions can't die, because yeah, give me evidence from the story, not out of story reasons. That's not good. Like, has the story specifically told you that champions can't die? No, they just told you that main characters can't die. Like Mel hasn't died, Savika hasn't died. So yeah. Let's see. Vi has no reason to die. Vi has a pretty good reason to die. Vi wants 2 things: peace and to protect who she cares about. So if Vi dying would align both of those, if she can guarantee that happening, then I think Vi would die. That's why she and Vander gravitate towards self-sacrifice so much, giving themselves up to go to jail, just because they care about peace. They care about people around them. I reconnected. It says I reconnected. I think I'm reconnected. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading through stream. I have everything pulled up on my phone. I really want Jinx to die. What is wrong with you? Yeah, Jinx dying would be great for the story. Hear me out. People keep forgetting what Arcane is about. I'm fucking muted. I'm fucking holy fuck. I apologize. I was reading chat the whole time. I guess I accidentally okay, stop. Not my fault. Not my fault. I was wondering. I was getting so much shit. Let's see. All right, you're gonna have to repeat your chat back to me if you want me to repeat it because I'm not going through chat again. That took me too long. My theory: Renata Glass becomes the next Canberra of Zon. Let's see. She'll die. We all know there'll be plenty of Arcane. Isha lives. Everyone live. Everybody live. Fanfics to cure the morning. Yeah. I'm crap at making theories, but I'm going to sit in my happy bubble and imagine a world where Isha, Jinx, Vander, and Vi are happy family. Yeah, just stop the show at episode 6, like 30 minutes in, you're good. I think your chat was saying how Jinx dies. I said that was a very good theory because I think Jinx dying would be great for the story. It would just make Amanda Overton a liar when she said Arcane was a story about forgiveness. Because if Jinx dies, it's just not a story about forgiveness. Isha possessed me. Dude, actually, yeah. It's the ghost of Isha past. This is what I get for calling Act 2 a 6 out of 10. Even though I was exaggerating in my head, okay? Arcane, I don't think I'll ever dip below an 8 for me. So even if like the most bullshit stuff happens, it'll be an 8. Okay, I was just caught up in the moment. Don't worry about it. I wanted to make a video, but never got around to it. But I think it wouldn't be awful if Isha came back as Blitzcrank. All right, I get shit for my theories, but here, no, I'm kidding. If Isha came back as Blitzcrank, I can see that happening. Depends on how they would do it. Only problem is Blitzcrank talks. Malphone, are you considering compiling all the main cast quote? Oh yeah, I remember that. I said that'd take way too long for me, and like I only have a few days before Act 3 drops, and I think I literally got most of my predictions out again. I just wanna, let's see. I just wanted to get my final thoughts about Jinx being the main villain and Jinx blowing up Piltover because I think that's a real big possibility and that no one is talking about it because I think the show has spelled out for us very explicitly that Piltover is going to get blown up. Also, there was an interview between all of the cast members. They all said like, what are some emojis you would use to describe Arcane? And every single one of them said that explosion emoji. Has Act 2 been that explosive? No. Okay, you could say Isha doing the Hextech explosion at the end. That was not an explosion. Oh, okay, it was an explosion. It was an explosion. Okay, but it's not an explosion. And then Jinx in what? She shot a few rockets in Act 1. If you would describe Arcane Season 2 with an explosion emoji, that is not enough. So I still think it's super likely that someone blows up all of Piltover, or Piltover gets blown up. And if everything, hold on, and if there's anyone who would do that, it's Jinx. Let's see, if Vi dies, it'd be useless because it would only make Jinx more suicidal and hate herself more. It depends, okay? It really depends on how their final interaction goes. What if Isha comes back as Teemo? That's a theory I like. I made a theory about how Milo is Rumble, so maybe Isha's Teemo. Hey, take back Jinx never be a villain. I don't care what anyone says, Jinx will never die. Back off anyone says Jinx is gonna die because she's not. If she dies, you're gonna be eating some fat ass. Vi definitely won't die though. Heimerdinger might. Now, when you're making a good case for you to be mod. Keep up the propaganda like that, and I might mod you. Let's see. I don't think champions will all live because there's no precedent of them dying in the show. Yeah, 100% agree. I think they're saving a champion death for an impactful moment. And that's the only problem I have with Heimerdinger dying at this point. He's such a minor character. Who cares if he dies? In other words, literally everyone dies if Piltover explodes. That's the thing. We see Heimerdinger experimenting with something. He might like be able to diffuse the Arcane and make sure the explosion doesn't explode everyone. Also, Mel, we don't know how powerful Mel is. She might be able to make a shield to protect everyone in Piltover. So that's very likely. What if Echo travels back in time and stops the mage from saving Jace and nothing ever happens and it was all a dream? Arcane would get a lot of hate. That's what I would say. Jace killing Victor was sort of an explosion. That's some cope. Okay, would you... Who is calling me? Shut the fuck up. All right. Jace killing Victor sort of explosion. That's cope. Okay, if that happened, you would not describe Arcane Season 2 with an explosion because that's minor. You would use like any other emoji. But you would describe Act 1 with an explosion emoji. Act 1, Season 1. Why? Because at the climax of Act 1, Powder blew everyone up and killed a lot of impactful characters. What? Let's see. The Hex Gates are going to get blown up, huh? Definitely. Definitely think the Hex Gates are going to get blown up. Holy Cinema get Jinx cinematic as Act 3? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if something is going to blow up all of Piltover, the show is called Arcane. The Arcane has been what has been elevating stakes the whole time. Jinx is going to take advantage of Victor's bullshit magic shenanigans and blow up all of Piltover. Jinx won't die. Me know this? Yes. Well, keep coping. That might happen. Singe will be the final villain. Yeah, he injects himself with triple shimmer, grows to be super big, like King Kong, and everyone teams up and fights against him. Arcane already getting a lot of hate. Kinda. Arcane has been getting a lot of hate. I think it's just because people are following the series. I didn't watch Arcane season 1 until like weeks after everything dropped. So it really just depends on how Act 3 wraps up, because literally the entire story hinges on the ending, what the story is about. And because of that, we just have to wait. If Arcane ended on episode 6, episode 6 of season 1, you could say, "Oh, Vi got separated from Jinx again. That's so anticlimactic. That's so predictable. That's like it's so repetitive." Then yeah, because it's not the ending of the story. But Arcane season 1 is perfection because Act 3 was such a masterpiece. Jinx destroys the Hex Gates confirmed. I think it's really likely. There will definitely be an explosion, but I don't think it'll be citywide. There was a big explosion in each act. Same for Act 3. Zon needs independence, so Piltover needs to survive. Well, I see how people on Twitter bitching about background characters being background characters. How can you hate Arcane, bro? I watched it first like 2 weeks ago. Wow, everyone bully Riri in chat. Look at Riri. Okay, doesn't have to get blue balled for like 4 years after Arcane season 1 ended. No, you just ignored everything and then watched it right when season 2 is about to drop. You think everything is candy corn and gun drop lanes, huh? No. Okay, we're living in the real world. There's hardship. There's suffering. You're gonna have to deal with it. No. Don't time out. Don't time out, Riri. I'm kidding. Mbessa will be the final villain in LeBlanc Black Rose. Okay, that would make me throw up for all the aforementioned reasons. It just makes no sense for the story. The story has never been about Black Rose outside forces invading. So yeah. Victor is the final villain, not Singe. He understands Singe's motivation now. If you want to change the world, don't ask for permission. That's actually a really good line. Glad you brought that up. Very, very good foreshadowing how Victor's going to go. But I still think Jinx will take center stage because Jinx has always been the more important character than Victor. If you're going to be an antagonist, if someone's going to blow up Piltover, it's going to be Jinx. That's why I say it seems like everyone here. Okay, I need to see what Nanami says because Nanami is like my biggest op right now. But I appreciate ops. No story without conflict. Do you agree that Piltover is going to blow up? Because if Piltover is going to blow up, who is the most likely culprit of that happening? Because that is that is like the core bias of me advocating for Jinx being the main villain. Because I came out with my theory of that Piltover will blow up. Like it was like probably like one of the first 10 videos I dropped on my channel, I think. Yeah. If you believe Piltover blows up, then who does it? Because that's what in my mind, that's what solidifies to me that Jinx is the final villain. Just because Piltover gets blown up, it would not make any sense for anyone else. Actually, it would make sense. There's plenty of reason why Ambassador and Victor would blow up. But symbolically, just writing-wise, it just has to be Jinx who blows up Piltover. I guess that's true. That's a good point. Micro reason. You could write it that Jinx blows up Piltover. I don't know. Ambessa takes over the Hex Gate. There's one way to stop everything. Jinx blows everything up. Saves both cities. They all hug it out. Everything's forgiven. But the best plot twist is when it's not Jinx blowing it up. Yeah, and then you could say a good plot twist would be Vi turning a villain and joining Jinx and blowing up the whole city, and it would be foreshadowing because in episode 1, at the very flashback, in the flashback, Vi looks at Piltover angrily, and at the end of episode 1, Vi's like, "This city is gonna respect us." So it would actually be good storytelling on that logic if Vi joins Jinx to blow up Piltover, but it's not what the story's about. It's not been about Vi being antagonist. That's not within Vi's character too. What if Jinx gets blamed, but it's not Jinx? You're gonna have to expand on that. If like Victor blows up Piltover and Jinx takes credit, it's war. Who cares? That's true. You lack experience and intelligent. You lack experience and intelligent, both which I possess. Your youth betrays your. Okay. That's Singe line. That's true. We don't know how that works because maybe the Arcane made Victor enlightened. Yeah. Because Singe was saying, what I wouldn't give to see the world through your eyes. So I think Singe is admitting defeat, that when it comes to knowing things, Victor is superior. But Singe is also super fucking based. Villains have selfish goals. Victor has the selfish goal of fixing humanity. And Vesta is selfish for the family. Jinx says she didn't want to use her talents for good. She is still selfish. Possible. Shita Mao, that's not the same. I forgot what you're talking about. I don't know what that's referring to. All I want from Act 3 is for Jace to suffer. This input is useless, but my opinion stands. If the Hex Gates get blown up, Jace is gonna suffer because that's like everything he's like known for, bro. Like guys actually can turn into homeless Jace because if he's like Hextech is evil, we need to get rid of magic. Well, what's Jace gonna do? Like he's like, I'm not working at the hammer business. All right, start panhandling. Spare some change. Now you know how Victor would feel. Okay. All I want for let's see. Jinx clearly didn't mean it when she said she doesn't want to do that. I don't know what you're referring to. She will die, but she's not the villain. If there's a world where Jinx dies, then it would be where she's not the villain. You can't. That's why I think Jinx will get redeemed. She gets redeemed by, I don't know, like in the very end, Vi talks her out or something, and she turns good, and something happens. Micro reasons, nothing I can come up with right now, but I think the story has always been leading towards some sort of resolution between Vi and Jinx. Echo will save everyone, including Jinx, and everyone lives happily ever after. Jinx is afraid to do good because she'll mess it up. I think her storytelling has to prove her wrong. And blowing up Piltover would be the ultimate good for Zon. And that's really all she cares about. I don't think Jinx gives a shit about Jace. Maybe Victor. Depends on how the relationship goes. But definitely not Caitlyn. Jace is Mel's husband. Oh, I guess that's right. Yeah, I guess he can't be homeless. But what if Mel's like, Jace, I'm too good for you. I'm gonna return back to Noxus and work for my mother, and you can be homeless, and we all hate you. And you were the reason why Victor turned evil and blew everything up. So, fuck you, Jace. We're over. We're done. And then she uses her magic powers and kills him. Jace has to be a Terminator in Act 2. Yeah, dude, Jace really thought he was that guy. There needs to be a final progress day. Yes. I have always been a fan of that. That's why I think Arcane is gonna last 1 year. Crack question. Warwick versus Wolverine, who's winning? Well, Wolverine's like fucking immortal, right? Like he can just regenerate from anything, dude. I'm sorry. Like Singe was gassing him Warwick's regenerative capabilities, but honestly, no way. Wolverine wins every single battle. Demacia being racist to mages is right all along, 100%. I'd love to see Demacia next. I think Demacia actually might be pretty likely. If I were to put aside all my biases for Bilgewater, the next fully fledged Arcane show is going to be Demacia. Gotta go all right, take care, Jinxie. Feed your cats. Say hi for me. If he's dead, he's not homeless. Just okay. Jace actually got his act together though. We saw in the Act 3 trailer he slicked back his hair. He got a nice new suit. Who knows? Maybe Jace stopped fucking tweaking out and then went to rehab or some shit and realized that he was a fucking idiot. Jace can burn in hell. I hate that there's probably gonna be a good reason why. There's gonna be a good reason why Jace killed Victor or something. Well, what did he see in the Arcane? He probably just saw I don't know, Probably just like the hex core. Oh, it probably okay. I think it might be like a Futurama thing where it killed. He thinks it killed Heimerdinger and Echo, and that's why he's so sad. What's this hate on Jace? Have you been in the Arcane community? Dude, no one has gotten more heat than Jace, okay? That's all he's known for. Everyone hates him, and it's funny. And I'm a Jace fan. I'm a secret closeted Jace fan. But um how do I hold on. How do I untime out someone? I need to untime out Val. This is free speech here, okay? Plot twist: Jace joins Ambassador and sleeps with her now. Yeah, good, very good theories. What if Jinx kills Jace? I would like that. I would actually really like that because it would represent Zon taking over Piltover. Veneer, if Nox's solution of Black Rose catching and indoctrinating mages seems better than Demacian Mage Seekers, maybe. Oh, is that their goal? I have no clue anything about Nox's lore. Maybe I should catch up one day. Not gonna lie, Jace playing 4D chess, he's the goat. Yeah, fucking gold digging. Let's see. The real villain is the directors for the deaths. No, okay, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's all Jace's fault, okay? Because like, if you're writing a show where you introduce Isha, a little poor innocent little girl that everyone loves, except for the psychopaths who don't, and then you have a character like Jace. Well, according to the story, you literally have to write Jace to do the most deplorable thing you can and fuck up everything and ruin all the nice stuff, and bam, Isha's gone. No. The Fine Boss of Arcane, they're not the writers. Okay, did I disconnect? No, I did not. They are beholden to Jace's character. They have to write that guy in character. And since he's such a fucking numbnut, he just has to destroy everything. Man, he's such a loser. Like, he didn't even stay for the aftermath. He blew up Victor, and then he saw the giant fucking war being waged. He's like, that's not my problem. I'm out of here. I don't care if there's any innocents getting killed. None of that shit. Jace could have put down Warwick easily. We saw he was like trying to snipe that giant chem tank with his hammer, with his new hextech hammer. Even if he's like tweaking out, having visions or everything, he hit Victor square on. Jace probably could have just aimed his hammer at Warwick, which is a giant target. He was towering over all the Noxans, sniped him, gone. Isha would not have to sacrifice herself. But no, Jace is like, I need to do good. I need to save everyone. And then he kills Victor, and he's like, my job here is done. Time to get blowjobs from Mel, and then just dips the fuck out. Thank you, Jace. Very cool. Jace should be redeemed. He tried to do good the entirety of the series. Just too short-sighted and hot-headed to succeed. Dude, we need a Jace dub. Okay, I'll admit it, I'm a Jace fan. Okay, I like Jace, and I'm tired of pretending I'm tired of pretending that he's a dick. Okay, listen, Jace, he needs one win. He needs to do something good. Maybe he'll try to stop Jinx at the very end. Maybe he'll fight Mbessa and finish her. That's what I hope happens. Jace the type of guy to bully the disabled. Let me think about that for a second. I mean, yeah, he was being racist towards Zonites, right? He was like, Victor, they're dangerous. I'm from the Undercity. Plot twist, Jace must battle his alternate reality self in the Hex Core. Honestly, yeah, that would probably take his ego down a couple steps. That guy is like way too in his head, in his face. Maybe he did save everyone. We don't know his motivation for killing Victor. Okay, I think it just makes sense. Victor's civilization, it was cringe, okay? You have all these people not wearing shoes. They're just fucking chilling around, growing apples and whatever. And none of them have souls, no personality. They're dry. Okay, that society, it's dry. I'm gonna be, if I live there, yeah, it'd be nice and I'd be fed. It would be like a cool community. But could you have cool conversations? You guys think I would be able to stream and fucking say all the bullshit I do in Victor's hive mind? No, Victor's gonna like fucking mind blast me. He's gonna get into my head and be like, you cannot say those things around here. And I'm like, oh well, like if the other option is fucking dying, I guess that's it. So yeah, being in that society would be boring as fuck. And none of the people are actually alive. Jace was getting visions like of them under their skin, and they were all just like weird hex tech void blobs. So I think Jace was onto something. it made sense why he. I like how also when Jace first came into Victor's commune, he saw a kid, and his first instinct was, "I'm gonna fucking nuke this motherfucker." Dude, Jace just fucking hates children, does he? Huh? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why Victor couldn't afford shoes, but I mean, since their feet are hard anyways, yeah, their feet are hard. Don't they slip around? I would want shoes if I had like fucking rock feet. That's nasty as fuck. Victor's Jesus, Jesus is Judas, and Judas is the demon I cling to. Jace has seen things. Yeah, we gotta see what Jace sees. We're probably gonna start off Act 3 with a Heimerdinger Echo explanation on how Jace was really hungry, tried to eat them. They were fighting for their life. It's a rough life out here. Jace pays for that. Victor and his infection would be no. Victor has no infection. He's done. If Victor can heal Huck's hairline, he can heal his own infection. Okay, that guy's fine. All right. Okay. I think this is. Let's see. We started off with Heimerdinger's death. No, okay. Heimerdinger has to get killed by Jinx blowing up Piltover. Okay. I've always been about Warwick and Heimerdinger dying because Arcane has always been about one progress. None. Okay. Kinda. It's been about progress. One of the major themes in Arcane is progress and the next generation. The old generation, they die, they pass on their legacies onto next generation and let them do their thing. The only people who stand antithetical to that standpoint is one, Ambessa, who is the main antagonist. Okay, everyone doesn't like Ambessa because she's meddling. Two, Vander. Vander's back as Warwick. I guess he's like not as influential because like he's not in his right mind. He can't talk people into things. And three, Heimerdinger. All of those people are the old generation. They need to get taken out of the series. That's why Warwick, gone. Okay, Warwick's gone. Old Zahn, Vander's influence, he's gone. People need to make decisions on their own in the current moment in isolation. Two, Ambessa's gone because she is way too invasive and she's fucking up everything. She's ruining everything. And Heimerdinger gone. Symbolism of Piltover's old guard. Everything the old Piltover represents: oppression, fake idealized visions of progress. Get rid of that guy, and then you just have a new society of young people. They don't repeat the mistakes of the past. They just move forward. Echo with 2 seconds of screen time. It's really rough for all the Echo fans. I don't even get people who say Echo's my favorite Echo's my favorite character because, like, dude, it's so sad how he just gets robbed of screen time. But like, if a guy has like 2 seconds of screen time, like, how's he your favorite character? Be honest. Not like in okay. Yes, he can be your favorite character. You like Echo, you glaze him, but it's hard to be invested. Victor's so fine. He is. And he got after the time skip, he got his twink highlights in his hair. Pretty cool. Vi. You spelled Vi wrong. How do you spell Vi wrong? That's like the easiest thing to spell. It's literally spelled exactly like how it sounds, and only with how it sounds. No like repetitive letters like the stupid French language, like Wezo, which is like 10 letters. AUXEA. What? Okay, I'm getting off the deep. Let's focus. Let's reconvene. Let me rechat. I think I might wrap up stream because it doesn't seem like everyone has anything else to say. I'll pump out the script. I'm not gonna be as direct about Jinx being the final villain because I'm gonna get way too much hate and I can't deal with it. I'm too soft skinned. I can't deal with these mean comments. They hurt my feelings. But I think it's also good. It's just good presentation. You want to get people riled up. You want to get your opinion because I don't want to misrepresent my opinion. I think it's just a good thought. Good thought to have Jinx as the main villain, just so Arcane stays. Okay, just as Arcane stays unpredictable. If you think there's possible for a lot of different things to happen, I think that's great. If you think champions would die, that's great. That's great for enjoyment of the show. So that's my main motivation for pushing that video out. But the young characters make all the mistakes and the old one did before. Yes, that they pass on their mistakes to the young ones. But they also have to make their own mistakes in isolation without old people affecting them so they can truly progress. Plot twist Echoes defy the villain. Yeah, he rewinds everything. Like, Jinx blows up Piltover, and he's like, I just want to see all these motherfuckers die. So he rewinds and watches everyone get blown up over and over again. He meant Vi is fine. The finale for everyone dies because Vander said no one wins in war. Yeah, that's also true. If Piltover... Okay. if Piltover and Zon united to defeat Mbessa, and then they joined forces and they healed all their scars, that's literally winning in war. Echo saves Isha, but someone dies in her place. Yeah, keep the cope. Forge 9. This whole chat has just been you coping. Oh, Isha comes back. Jinx saves everyone. I think you gotta pull up some Bluey, okay? Arcane's way too sad for you. I don't think you're grown up enough to handle this. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna wrap up stream here. Expect the video tomorrow, day after, whatever. I'm not making any promises because I've been really busy lately. We're just gonna have to see how that goes. I'm gonna wrap up stream. Thank you everyone for contributing, for telling me I'm dumb. I appreciate it. I always like criticism. I think it's fun. It's fun. Conflict builds narrative. Okay, it makes things interesting. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yeah. Oh well, let me get some final comments in. At maybe Val's crazy. Okay, I already know this comment's gonna be asked. Val has been on some schizo stuff. I think none of the selfless characters can be villain. I agree with that. Echo, Jace, Mel, Vi. I'll try to do the good thing. Yes. Wait, where's Caitlyn? Okay, I mean, I guess Caitlyn's a bit complicated. Caitlyn and Vi, they're gonna go through their lesbian issues. Average lesbian shenanigans. All right, you guys have fun. Catch you in the next one.